Hello everybody, happy Friday night. It's Carrie Burke here. I am going to do another episode of Cooking with Carrie. Since it's kind of nasty outside and no one's really going anywhere, I figured maybe you might want to watch me make dinner. So I'm going to make seared scallops. I have to tell you guys that I've had scallops once before I made this recipe, and they were nasty. They were fishy tasting and gross. And so I've never eaten them again. And I found them at Sam's. I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. So I found this really cool recipe on Pinterest, which is where I get most of my recipes there, or Pampered Chef on my website. But it is super easy to make these scallops. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to make a onion citrus kind of topping that you put on top of the scallops once they're done. But it's super easy. So if you're scared to make scallops, don't be, because I ate them and they're absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna stand up so that you guys can see me, and here I go. So this is our Pampered Chef non-stick skillet, stainless steel. This might be the big family size one. This is one of my favorite pans. I love it. Now the cool thing about this pan is that it's it's a stainless steel, but it has a non-stick coating. So the non-stick coating is actually underneath this cute, pretty little design. So it's not going to ever chip. You can use any kind of utensils with this. You don't have to use a nylon. You can use a regular stainless steel, whoops, I just hit my camera, sorry. But a stainless steel tongs to turn things over, anything that you want in here. I'm using these. These are old tongs that Pampered Chef used to sell, but they don't anymore. So those are not available, but I love them. They're my favorite. Like I said, the products last the test of time. So I'm gonna kind of heat this skillet up while I'm making the salsa, so you can, or the topping, so you can see. No, actually, maybe I'll wait a minute. So what this topping is just onions and oranges and lime juice, and then some cilantro, but I didn't have that, so I'm gonna use cucumbers and just some salt and pepper and go from there. So I'm just gonna take this onion and kind of peel off the first layer, and then I'm going to show you how easy, some people really complain about cooking because it's really takes some time, and it does take time regardless of how you're cooking, but if you have the right tools, I feel like you can really get a lot done a lot faster, and sometimes you just have to take an investment. Like if you're going to want to cook in your kitchen, you're going to want to cook with the right products, so why not make the investment and do that? So that's why I sell Pampered Chef, and I love their products, and I use them all the time. So this is our quick slice. It's like our old mandolin, and I really like this one. It's a very lightweight. As you can see, it's plastic, so it's dishwasher safe. And then it has 3 different levels where you can do cutting. So you can do a 1, 2, or 3, which will just change the thickness. And then the lock is where the blade is not is even with it, so you're not going to cut your fingers. But still be very careful because the blade is there. So I'm going to put this on a 2, and you can use this with any kind of vegetable that you want. So you put the guard right on here so that you don't cut your fingers. I put the onion right on top of this, and then this is the vegetable holder that has prongs on it. So I'm going to just put that right on top of my onion, and then I'm just going to slide this back and forth. And I'm going to use the plunger to push it so that it actually will slide. Whoops, I think my onion is stuck. So let me take that back out again. Sometimes if you don't get it on there right, the onion will get stuck on the sides and it won't slide as well, like was what just happened to me. Once you adjust it, then it'll slide just fine. And as you see, it makes slices all the way to the end of your onion so you don't lose any of your vegetables. So you can do onions, you can do squashes, you can do peppers, just be whatever vegetable you want to do, you can use in there, and it makes it really fast and easy, and then you don't have to worry about frying either. So these are our knives, and this is an old knife of mine that I've probably had for 20 years. All of our knives and these skillets have a lifetime warranty. So if you're thinking about making an investment in your kitchen, you always want to make sure when you're cooking that you have a really good knife and that you have a really good skillet. So I've got like holy onions right here. It looks like a ton of onions, but my husband will eat them. He loves onions, so that'll be fine. So we'll just leave those there. But our knives are fantastic, and this is one of the chef's knives, and literally it's so old. But this is the cool thing is when you have a knife that has divots like this, or rivets, I'm not really sure what the technical name is, but that's what keeps your food from sticking. So when you're cutting a vegetable, it's got built-in little air pockets, and so that's why your vegetables won't stick as you cut them. So it's kind of important if you do a lot of cooking and cutting of vegetables that you have a knife like that. So if you're interested in those, let me know. I'm going to cut up this cucumber and do the same thing. I could use the mandolin, which I might just do that. And I'm not going to use the guard because I'm going to be risky and give it a shot. But I wouldn't recommend doing this if you haven't used this product, so that you don't slice your fingers off, because the last thing you want to do is have a night in the ER. That's not fun, right? So I'm going to throw that in my sink, and then I'm just going to chop these guys up. I'm going to stack them up. It makes it a little bit easier to chop them. And then I'm just going to kind of chop them up like so. And then you can dice them, do whatever you want with them. You know, the beautiful thing is when you cook, you don't have to follow a recipe if you don't want to. And sometimes it's kind of fun not to. A warning with that, though, is if you make something that you really love and you don't follow a recipe, you might not be able to make it again. Which, trust me, I've done that many times. Okay, so I'm just going to chop these up. Now, these knives, you can buy a sharpener with these knives to keep them really sharp. And I have one, but I found out something. I'll give a shout out. This bowl looks like it's going to be way too small, so I'm going to get a bigger bowl. A shout out to the Chef Shop in Edwardsville. So if you guys live local, I took all of my knives to the Chef Shop and had them sharpen them. I think it was over Christmas, and they were doing a promo. So it was like $4 a knife to get them sharpened. And what I was asking was, I told them about what I had, and I'll show you what it looks like. There's two different ones. I use this one a lot, and I really, really like it because it helps sharpen my scissors. And then there's another side here where you can do your knives. So, and then this is the block one that you can sharpen. So what I was told at the Chef Shop was that when you use those, it just kind of sharpens the blade itself. When you get them professionally done with the machine that they do at a company or something, it actually redoes the blade. And I'm not sure what the technical terminology and all that jazz is, but it somehow reshapes or redefines the actual blade itself. So it makes your knives super, super sharp. So if you notice, it doesn't take me much to do this. So since my knives are a lifetime warranty, I don't need any new knives. But I just went and got them sharpened because I thought, well, mine were getting kind of dull. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my citrus press, which is another one of my favorite tools. If you guys like fresh lemon juice, lemon juice, orange juice, lime juice, don't go buy that stuff at the grocery store. It's got lots of chemicals and additives and stuff in there, and it actually doesn't taste like the lemon, and there's probably actually not very much lemon juice in it. So if you get this citrus press, I actually do lemon juice and lime juice and put it in a container, and then I use it throughout the week. And you can also freeze them in, if you have an old ice cube tray. I freeze mine, and then it's a great little added kick to like your soups or any kind of stocks that you're doing, stews. It just gives a little extra something in your recipe. So I highly recommend that you do that. Because it's just a lot healthier, and it just adds that extra pizzazz. So, and it's super easy, as you can see. I'm just going to put one orange in here. And then I'm going to show you a trick that I learned at a cooking class at the Kitchen Conservatory, which is another really cool place to go. They have live cooking shows, actually demonstrations where you cook with your family and friends. Hey, Becky! And it's like they have 12 people that can come to the restaurant or to the Chef Shop over at the Kitchen Conservatory, and then you can sign up for the different classes, and then you get to cook with all these people, and then you get to eat everything, and they have wine. It's really super fun. So what I learned was, when you're cutting any kind of citrus, you know how it has the center core in the citrus? If you cut it down the center, like find that little nubbin in the middle, see right there, you cut the ends off, find the nubbin and cut as close to it as you can. So I didn't get all of it, but most of it, right? Then you angle your lime or your lemon, and you get the other, like kind of do a diagonal, and you get rid of that center piece. And the gal said that you actually get more juice out of your fruit if you cut it that way. So I thought that was a really cool trick. And so I want to make sure and share it with all of you guys so that you make sure that if you're doing this, that you get the most bang for your buck with your juices. Okay, so there's that. So it takes 2 seconds. And if you guys have some extra time and want to do some food prep and do some healthier foods, if you just plan it, food prep doesn't have to be that big of a woo, right? So there's that. And then I'm just going to take my spoon and I'm just going to mix it all up. So this is going to go over my scallops. In fact, I'm going to turn my pan on. So you want to make sure that you preheat your pan because you want to get that sear on the scallops, okay? And I'll show you what I did with the scallops. Oops, I just dropped an onion in there. I feel like this needs something else, so I'm going to go into my spice rack here, and I'm going to see if I have any parsley that I can sprinkle on top of this to make it look a little bit like maybe there's cilantro, even though there really isn't. Just because I think it needs to look pretty. So I'm going to try that. Well, I'm just going to sprinkle some on here. So that kind of has that effect of there's another spice in there when I don't have cilantro. And I'm not about to go out because I'm sure the roads right now are kind of cruddy, so I'm not going to do that. Well, if I get that back in my cabinet. So now it's kind of got that flair, see, of it looking a little bit different. You can add some salt and pepper to this, which I'll do here in a second. Now I don't have the Pampered Chef salt and pepper grinders because I already had these, so I would say 90% if not more of my kitchen is Pampered Chef, but it doesn't all have to be Pampered Chef because there are other companies that really have some great products, so there's no reason that you have to have everything Pampered Chef, so don't feel like you need to. Okay, so there's that. So I'm going to set that aside. I actually have some Brussels sprouts in my air fryer, and Pampered Chef does not have an air fryer yet. Can you believe that? So this is a Cuisinart, and it's one of my favorite. I love it. I got it at Kohl's with like 30% off coupon, and it was on wicked sale. And so I absolutely love it. I use it a ton, hence why it's on my countertop. And I'm looking for my little red, here they are, my microwave little grippers. I use these things all the time. So here's a great, so here are my Brussels, and I just cut them and threw them in there, and I put them in my air fryer, and I'll season them after. But I just put them on, I don't know, 275, but I think they need some more time. So I'll set my timer for a little bit longer while I'm waiting for this thing looks pretty good. It feels pretty hot. Okay, so I'm gonna use my kitchen spritzer. And remember, if you've seen my videos, this thing has already been has been open to let go of the pressure. So I'm gonna pump it some more so I can make sure I get a good sear and get some oil on the bottom of my pan. So my oil is not very full, as you can see that, so I'm gonna have to tilt mine this way. If you don't have enough oil, it might not spray as well, so I really need to fill mine, because see, that's where it's supposed to be. So I need to do that after we do this video. Okay, so for those of you that haven't done scallops, let me show you what you do. So here are my scallops right here. So you take them out, you let them thaw out, and put them on a paper plate, or on a plate with a paper towel, and then let them cool down. This thing is really hot, so I'm gonna turn it down. Let it cool down. And then you're going to pat your scallops so that they stay, so they're as dry as you can get them. And then I'm just going to salt and pepper them. Okay, and then you're going to put them in this pan. I'm actually going to grab my avocado oil because I think my pan is really high. And avocado oil has a higher cooking temperature than olive oil. So if you ever notice like that your olive oil kind of burns, it's because the temperature of your pan or your oven is too hot. And so that's why your olive oil will burn. So avocado oil has a little bit higher temperature, so we'll see what happens. And mine isn't spraying like it should because I didn't probably pump it enough, but I'm okay with that. So I'm just gonna put notice I don't have a ton of smoke because my pan or the avocado oil can handle a higher temperature. So I'm just gonna put these babies, hear that lovely sear. And I was gonna use these, but I'm just gonna use my fingers because God gave them to me and they work. So I'm gonna use them. They've got a bag of scallops at Sam's. I think it's like $22, and I think I just took these out. There's 12 here, and I think there were 6 more, so maybe 18 to 20 scallops in a package. The recipe says to let these brown for 1.5 to 2 minutes, so you don't touch them. Just leave them on the pan, leave them alone. I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes and let those babies do their thing, okay? If you want to get a sear on anything, a steak, a chicken breast, anything, you don't ever want to move it. You want to leave it alone, let the pan and the heat and the oil do its thing, and then flip it over. So I have been making fillets. I've been going to Sam's a ton. And if you go there, depending on what day you get there, it kind of is random for me, but sometimes I go on Friday mornings after my Weight Watcher meetings, and they have all their meats. Some of them are marked down because they need to sell them that day or whatever, so I can get them for a pretty good price. So fillets have been really inexpensive, and my husband and I really like them a lot, so I didn't really know how to cook a fillet. So I used my grill pan because since it's cold outside, you can't do grilling. So let me show you what that looks like. I think it's down here. Yeah. This might be my new one. I don't know if it's my new one or my old one, but this is our grill pan. This also has a lifetime warranty. So see, it has the grill marks on it. So you do the same thing with the fillets or any kind of steak if you want that grill mark on there. Heat up your pan first, spray it with a little oil, throw your steaks on there for like 3 minutes on one side and then flip it over, 3 minutes on the other side. And then I use our, meat thermometer. It's not necessarily just for meat, but this is a new product that just came out in the fall. And so this is our thermometer. So it has a thing with all of the temperatures for your meats and stuff. And so you can use it as a probe and just stick it right in your food this way. Or you can put this part, let me undo my little twisty tie. You can take this part right here and it goes inside, let me put this probe back so I don't stab myself. You can put that part right here in this, in the opening for that, okay? And then this you can shove right in the meat. And then this can go in the oven. So you would take the whole pan. What I do with my fillets is oh, that's 2 minutes, hang on. Please hold. We're gonna flip these bad boys over and hopefully they're nice and, oh, they're not brown. What? I'm gonna let them be a little bit because they're not browning. Anyway, I'll let them go for a few more minutes. So then you put this thing right in the pan, can go right in the oven up to 500 degrees. So that way then you can let the rest of the meat cook in the oven and just check your temperature to make sure that if you want it to be medium rare, however you want your steaks cooked. I can't believe these guys are, there we go. So now they're starting to brown. It might not have been hot enough. And I can't remember if I salt and peppered them before last time or if I waited until after. So that could be a factor too because there's a lot of liquid in here and last time there wasn't as much. There we go. There's some searing. There we go. I bet you, because this pan is so big, that I don't have it centered on the burner. And so it's not getting that side. So I'm going to move these guys over here. Yeah, see how those are so light? I'm not digging that because I kind of want them to not look like they're still swimming. Whoops. So you just flip them over. Slippery little guy, come on. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to let these guys cook for another 2 minutes. Oh, not 13, that would be horrible. Those babies would be like rubber. Well, I need to put my timer on 1:30. There we go. So yeah, so check Pinterest out. Hopefully you're learning some tips and tricks from me too when you're doing your cooking. But I'm gonna let these guys finish up and then probably turn the other guys over since they weren't brown before. And then I'm gonna eat dinner. I'm gonna have my Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna have my scallops. So just another reminder, guys, for those of you that maybe haven't seen my videos, January is double rewards. So if you're interested in getting any of these products, cookware is 60% off in January. And they don't have to close until February 15th. So as long as I know you want to have a party, we can get it set for the 31st and not run it, we can run it in February. And you guys can still take advantage of the double reward. So don't let that slip you by if you're interested in these products, because my job is to not have you guys spend your money, but to keep your money in your wallet. Okay, so let's see how much time I got left. 43 seconds. Let's check our Brussels sprouts. See if these bad boys are done. They look pretty good. Oops, I'm stuck. Why am I stuck? Well, I don't know what's stuck. Oh, there we go. The leg must have been stuck. That was a hot mess. So there's my Brussels. They still look like they might need to go in for a little bit longer. It must have not had, this must have been hooked like that. And so that leg was stuck on the outside, wouldn't let me take my pan out of mine. All right, I'm gonna turn these bad boys over one more time, and then these guys are probably gonna be done. Woo, they look so good. Look at that sear mark. Is that not beautiful? Is that not pretty? Now they all didn't turn out that way, and that's all right. Like Mike and I remember, we're not a Michelin star restaurant, but look at that one. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks delicious. So then there you go. That's it. I'm turning it off and I'm signing off so I can eat dinner. So thanks for watching another episode of Cooking with Carrie. Share this on your Facebook wall so we can share the message and some of your friends can learn how to cook too. All right, comment below if you are interested in having a show and we'll get you hooked up. Have a great night. Be safe out there. Bye.